Welcome to Beyond Our Focus. I'm Stefan, this is Amanda, and this is What's in the Box, where we are going to draw a topic out of the box and start a conversation. We're going to probably end up ranting, going off topic. Who knows what's going to happen, but this is going to be about an hour and a half conversation just about anything. So we appreciate if you join in with us. Throw some things down in the comments. Let us know what you think about the topics. And what would you do? And in this instance, keep going through and see what happens. I don't know anything else to say, so we're going to start with...
This is pretty much going to be like our laid-back show. Our get to know us, let us get to know you. Because that's what we're here for.
Yes. Also, you enjoy the conversation. It's the whole goal. If you have any topics you'd like us to go over, let us know, and we will put them in the box so we can talk more about what you want to talk about. Leave us, of course, your opinions as well, and we'll discuss them on the video.
Also, 10 points for your house team if you can figure out where this came from.
Yes. I'm sure there's someone. If you understand how this dumb little show ended up coming about and get the reference, 10 points. The Gryffindor and only Gryffindor.
Oh, no.
No, Ravenclaw. I'm a Ravenclaw.
Ha! I'm a Gryffindor.
No.
You said 10 points to Gryffindor no matter what, so...
No one likes Gryffindor. It's too popular.
I know, no one likes Gryffindor. I don't like Gryffindor, and I am a Gryffindor.
I'm very happy to be a Ravenclaw. I like Ravenclaw. That's what I wanted, and that's what I got.
I was thoroughly disappointed. To find out that I was Gryffindor.
Well, be happy you're Gryffindor and not Hufflepuff.
I wouldn't
Nobody wants to be Hufflepuff.
I would not mind being Hufflepuff. Can't talk today. Because they're the caretakers. They're the animal lovers. And that's probably where I should have gone, except when I did mine, I answered like I, was supposed to.
That's how it's supposed to happen.
And, apparently they couldn't figure out where to put me, so I got put in Gryffindor, because that's where everyone goes when they can't figure out what to do with you. But
now, those books have been much more interesting had we got to explore the other houses more.
Yes.
Hufflepuff got explored the least.
Yes.
Then Ravenclaw, then Slytherin, and then, of course, the whole book is all centered around
Gryffindor. And that's what upset me, is because when I did the test, it's like with Ravenclaw, how Ravenclaw's description was beautiful. Like, you got a whole bunch of detail, you got insights, what they were, what they're supposed to be, their strengths, their weaknesses. Gryffindor's description is literally everything that you need to know about Gryffindor. Just follow Harry and his friends.
Hey, we have 7 books about Harry and his friends.
I know, but that's not the point. It could have been cooler, so that people, who were in Gryffindor didn't feel like, great.
Hey, they know at that point you've read the books, or you've at least watched the movies, you know who Gryffindor is.
Yes, we know who Gryffindor is around Harry Potter and his friends.
Well,
okay?
That's all that Gryffindor is. There is nothing outside of that.
Great. I don't want to be a part of the popular kids.
I know. That's why I'm happy I'm Ravenclaw.
No.
I'm very happy with Ravenclaw. I like my Ravenclaw. It could have been cool if they would have, a member of each house would have been, part of the gang.
Yes.
Or if, Hermione would have been part of Ravenclaw and Ron would have been part of Hufflepuff. But they were these unlikely friends. And, of course, I guess evilness could still be Slytherin. And it's and then we could have got a little bit more about the houses and different things and how they had to try to be together and do things together even though they were completely different houses.
Yes.
That could have been fun.
I would have probably liked that a little more, considering that if you're going to make a place with 4 houses that each have different personalities to them, why not delve into that more?
Yeah, we get very little on the other houses. What do we think that maybe... Since we already started off on a tangent, hadn't even gotten to the first question yet. We've been going, 5-6 minutes.
No.
Do we want to get into the first topic?
No.
Yeah, all right. We'll just close it back up. We'll put it back in the box.
What's in the box we don't want to know?
We don't want to know. Put it in the back. It's not important.
So, what is our topic of the day?
What is our topic? Which, if you watched our episode yesterday of Would You If... We kind of hinted towards what the topic was going to be there. So, if you want a little bit of discussion about that, watch yesterday's episode of Would You If? Because we went over a little bit of it there.
Yeah.
We're just going to dive a little deeper today. So, top 3 superpowers. If you could pick your 3 superpowers, what would they be? Top 3.
Top 3.
Top 3. I have a fancy little book of some tallies I took 10 years ago. Somewhere along those lines. A long time ago. 26 different people who I got to answer that exact question. So I want to know yours, and I'll add yours to the tally.
I'm 27.
And you're number 27. And we will see my very rough estimate of this. Kind of what everyone's kind of thinking.
So my top 3. Number 1, shape-shifting.
I like shape-shifting a lot.
Yes, shape-shifting is definitely my number 1.
I don't know if it's my number 1, but it's in my top 3 I would choose. It's in here somewhere. So shape-shifting. Which I have in here. Oh, there it is.
Trying
What
to think
else?
of all the superpowers that I've ever heard of or seen.
Let's see. There's a lot.
Yeah,
well, a lot of prep. This is just, hey, stuff you really like.
Well, yeah.
Nobody here really thought about a lot about it, so just stuff you would like. Anything you would like. Anything at all.
Well, okay. Being that shape-shifting is of its own thing, then yes. Otherwise, if shape-shifting was not on the table, flying would be the top. Because
And that's number 2. I said top 3. How? What?
Okay, so flying's 2.
All right. Very popular choice. And number 3. Flying is not in my top 3. No.
You don't want to be Peter Pan?
No. I'm alright about being Peter Pan. Like I said, shape-shifting. Second one would be, I go with Magneto's power to control metal. That's my second one. Very specific controlling metal. Because I love what he's able to do within the movies.
Yes. My number 3. I don't know. I think it would just be healing. The ability to heal. Self-heal.
I put self-heal and healing other people in the same category. Kind of
Okay,
the same
good.
thing. But, I mean, because that's on here. People, that's something else some people chose.
Okay.
All right. And my last one is basically teleportation. Jumper style teleportation.
Yes.
Because that was such a cool movie.
It was.
It's a shame we've never gotten a sequel to that. That was such a cool movie.
How old is that movie?
I don't
now?
even know. It's whew. It's been a long time.
It's been a while.
I don't know how long. So those are my 3. So we're going to start with some of the minor ones.
Okay.
Things people only said once. One person's just stretching.
Stretching? Oh, God.
Come on. It's Fantastic Four.
Okay.
Fantastic Four and Miss Marvel, the new Miss Marvel, basically. That's her power, stretching.
Okay.
So there's that. I think it was Sandy, when I asked her forever ago, said time travel.
Interesting.
It was an interesting one
Doctor
from her.
Who.
Yeah, hers was
Not really.
flying, time travel, and healing. So 2 or 3 of yours. Another one that's just 1 is basically the ability to, I don't know what you call it, but it's walking through, it's like Kitty Pryde.
Yeah. Yes. I'm pretty much ghosting, like just walking through walls.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a fancy word for it.
I'm trying to think of Casper, the movie Casper, because when he had to learn how to...
How did Kitty Pryde explain hers?
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, another one. Someone said the Human Torch.
Oh, lovely.
We have 1 for telekinesis.
Okay.
1 for Storm's powers.
Interesting.
1 for Green Lantern's powers.
My God.
Basically have the ring.
The ring.
The ring. 1, of course, which was mine, was controlling metal.
Okay.
I'm the only person who said that, so. And immortality was 1. Which, if I had a 4th, immortality would be the 4th.
Yeah.
And I would almost switch one of mine out for immortality, because I also do love the idea of immortality.
I remember we discussed that.
I'm happy going to topics. I love the idea of immortality. So it almost would make my top 3. Be my top 4 for sure. I can see myself under certain circumstances switching out one of them for that. So 2 people said invisibility.
Okay.
2 people, including me, said teleportation. So only one other person. Let's go up here. Is there 3? There is 3. 3 for shapeshifting.
Yes.
1 is me, 1 is you, and 1 was my mother.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Interesting.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's a long time ago when I did this. Let's see. Anything else? 4 people said being super smart. Basically, super high intelligence.
Yeah.
So
super intelligence.
that works really well in the movies, and it could get you almost anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at some of the cooler superheroes. If you look at Peter Parker.
Yeah.
He's super smart. You look at Batman, super smart. You look at Iron Man, super smart.
Yeah.
They do a lot of what they do because of their smarts.
Yes.
So it's something to be cool.
That's actually really good.
No, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Instead of just gaining an ability, being smarter than any and everyone is also something.
Yes, because initially, no matter what, technically, no matter what power someone has, if there's a way to outsmart them...
And that's what we see. Especially you see Iron Man and Batman. They're both really smart at what they do, which is how they gain and do what they do.
Yes, they weren't just given powers. They made their powers.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's always interesting. So it was cool to see some people did that one. Let's see. Our next one is going to be 5. Healing.
Yeah.
I didn't put yours on there. So that was that's actually 6 people. Healing. So I decided not to write yours. I got yours on the other ones. I did not do it for the healing.
How dare
So let's just add it right there, little mark. All right, healing for 6 people. 5 people said X-ray vision, which was an odd one for me.
I don't really understand. Like, it would be nice to have as a tool.
Yeah.
But as an everyday...
Out of everything you can pick, that's not the top of the list.
No.
That's a side power that you wouldn't mind having maybe later.
I would rather have that as, like, binoculars or something, not something I'd have to deal with or control all the time. It would
but I think too many people like Superman, and that's just something that came to mind.
That makes sense.
So, let's see. Anything else that's low? I think we've gone over most of them. At 8 people, we have invincibility.
Which would pretty much cover a lot of them.
It's a big power.
Yes.
But invincibility doesn't mean that you're strong. It doesn't mean that you're this. No. It's just you're just impervious to damage.
Yes. Indestructible.
Indestructible. So let's move on. I think we've covered almost everything except the top few.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, invincibility was actually number 2.
Okay.
So I skipped a little bit. Number 2 is invincibility. Number 3, with a 3-way tie for number 3.
Okay.
It's 7 people per. Speed, strength, and reading minds.
It's a pretty rounded out group right there.
Yeah. So these were all super popular by a long shot. And of course, far and away, number 1 with 16 people out of the 27 now I've gone over said flying. Everyone says flying. Everyone wants to fly. It's the cool thing.
Hey, as long as you don't get hit by a plane, you should be fine. Mistaken for a duck. Duck hunting.
How do you almost think so for a duck?
I don't know.
You're just flying overhead. That's a duck! Batoo!
Even worse, a mutant duck.
Mutant duck. Is it a duck? Is it a plane? No, he's dead.
He's dead, yes.
So.
Could you imagine? Like, that is probably one of the downsides of shapeshifting, especially if you're like me, who would love to shapeshift into animals. Not just shapeshift my appearance into other people, but shapeshift into animals. Because if you decide, hey, I'm going to just spend a nice evening out as a deer, just going through the woods, and just, well, bam!
A nice evening out, just as a deer. I'm just a little dog going through the woods.
Just spend a day seeing how another creature in this world lives. And then you just get shot. There goes Bambi! Yeah. Yeah. A fucking horrible waste of power and to die just like that.
Interesting Beast Boy's powers. Because he's always green. It's like for some reason they made, no matter what he turns into, he is green. He's a green elephant. He's a green deer. He's like, why? Why does he have to be green while he does this? It makes him stand out like a sore thumb. You ain't blending with nothing.
Well, I guess maybe that is the dividing point between shape-shifting into animals and shape-shifting your appearance. He can't do both. He keeps his appearance at all times as he's shape-shifting into these creatures.
But he's green himself.
I
don't know, it's weird.
I don't know Beast Boy's origin, I'm sorry.
I don't either. I don't know a lot about him. I just want to know a little bit what I've seen through Teen Titans.
And then, of course, you have Beast.
Yeah, Beast.
Who's blue.
Yeah, he's blue. He's very different, though.
Anything with Beast. Apparently, anything with Beast has to have a certain color.
I mean, Mystique, she's blue.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Why is everything blue?
Why does she have to be blue? But she can shapeshift the look any way she wants.
I love her scale texture, though.
Which I think is pretty much only in the movies.
I don't care.
Not in the comics or cartoons. Yeah. She's also 9/10 naked. And she actually, wears clothing in the comics. It's like, that's an interesting choice. Yeah. You decided to... that doesn't work in any other why or how or...
No idea, but as far as the actual makeup effects go... It
looks really cool. It looks really cool. Doesn't make a lot of sense in any other way, but it looks really cool.
Either.
No, not
then
practical.
Again, mutant powers weren't supposed to be practical. They were just supposed to be, you're a mutant. Yeah. You deal with it or else.
Yeah, the X-Men... Something the movies haven't done very well is the outsiderness. The fact that they're different, that they're treated different. The movies touched on that stuff, but never did it super, super well. Now, the comics, not the comics, but even the cartoon, what I've seen a lot more of, was much more, it was mutant against humans. And one's trying to live in peaceful with the humans, while one's like, no, we can't live in peace. We're the superior race. We're taking over.
Well, you kind of have that in the movies between, of course, the X-Men and...
Like I said, they play with
Magneto,
it.
Yeah.
But I just mean as far as the outsiderness, the differenceness, they can't be in society because everyone looks at them different.
I think...
They don't play with it a lot.
No, and I think the one that does capture that as far as people with powers is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. actually does it better than what the movie or X movies have done with it. But that's also more so Marvel stepping in with the show, doing it their own way since they can't. Well, they do now finally, but they didn't have X-Men forever, so they couldn't use the word mutant. They couldn't do all these things.
Yes,
so,
Inhumans.
Inhumans, but the Inhumans are something as well.
Yeah.
They have their own origin and their own thing, and they live alongside. They're different from the X-Men or from mutants. So.
I don't know. I haven't watched any of it. Have you watched it? I can English. Gifted?
Gifted, I have. It started off really cool. I mean, it's as far as touching on that type of stuff, it's better than, in my opinion, than what the movies did. But there's a lot of things that just don't work. They just didn't do a very good job with it. It's good. It's a little over too dramatized. And then it's like, why don't you just do this? You have powers. Like, you have all these people with powers. Like, one point, they go to this warehouse full of mutants. Yeah. This is it hiding out. They're with the rebels. They're hiding out. They're with all these mutants. But anytime any confrontation happens or something needs to happen, they grab the same, 3 mutants. It's like, well, this is all we have. We don't have anybody else to spare. Geez. It's like you have a whole building full of people with powers. Yet we only focus on these couple. Just his family and a couple of side people.
Harry Potter all over again.
And it's like, every time there's any confrontation or any issue or anything, nobody else in the building is doing anything.
Yeah.
It's like they're all just civilians who can't do anything within for themselves. And it's like, you all have powers. I guarantee somebody has something to be useful.
No.
So.
If you are not a popular kid, you're not useful.
Pretty much. No. It was decent. It wasn't great, but it was decent.
Well, occasionally I'll be watching TV or something and a commercial will pop up for it, and I'm like, I haven't even stopped to watch any of it, so.
Yeah. It started off, there was a cool concept. It's just the more we watched, the more I'm like, this show's just, it's not great.
Yeah.
And then the show Inhumans was bad. It was just bad. I only got one season, but it was just bad. It was.
I didn't even bother.
Yeah.
That bad?
It wasn't good. We watched all of it just because it was part of that, but it just wasn't good.
Was there any part of it that should be watched as far as storylines, anything?
I mean, it's an interesting period. It's an origin story, kind of, and kind of how the mutants are, what they are, where they kind of hail from, and what happened, and different things. But it's just not a very good show. And I don't know. It's not going to get a second season. It's not going to get anything.
Yeah.
Probably get as much done reading a wiki of it than anything.
My go-to. As far as your powers, why did you pick your specific ones?
Well, I love shapeshifting in general.
Yeah.
Whether it comes to just being different people, disguising, I mean, even animals, anything. I love just the idea of shapeshifting in general. I mean, like you. Except...
You're not going to go out into the forest?
No, I'm probably not going to stroll through the woods as a doe. It's probably not where I'm going.
Okay.
Of course, I always look at mine in some way, like, how can I get money from this power? Because if I'm having something, you know what, I'm going to be set. But that's even more so where, like, teleportation comes in, too. Yeah. I'd almost tell you exactly what he does in the movie.
Oh, geez.
Exactly. Because it was so perfect.
Yeah.
It just, poof, he's in there, gets what he's, and he's gone. Never robs anyone again. The banks are insured. That really hurt. Don't hurt anyone. Don't hold anyone up. Never affects anybody.
Yeah.
And in the end, it hurts no one. I mean, yeah, the money goes missing, but again, that's insured. So the people never really lose anything.
I forgot, with Jumper, wasn't it just that the other people who had his ability felt it was wrong to just use it? Like, because there was him, and then the people chasing him. And even
they didn't have powers.
Okay.
I mean, you only see one other Jumper in the whole movie.
Yeah, and it's the other guy.
The other guy living out in the desert.
Yeah.
Doing whatever he wants, whenever he wants to do it. But, yeah, they're just normal people that found...
I couldn't remember if they had any kind of... No, they were just...
Samuel L. Jackson, by himself, normal human, going after these people, found out that if they're electrified, they can't really jump real well. And if they do jump, they have a tool to open up the rifts and follow them.
Okay, that's where I got that mixed up into. That's because I was like, I remember them following through this, so they have to have something. But now,
because he went back to the pyramid area that the guy was living, and he went straight there, and they have a way open it up, and they came through.
Yeah, and he was like, "Why did you lead them here?" Pretty much.
Well,
like,
he didn't know they could do this. Yeah. So, but God, there's so many cool effects in how they did some of the stuff. And how they disappeared. And they had a scene to place at one point, but they could use pictures to jump places. And like there's one cool scene they used in the commercials a bunch too, where he goes to hit the guy and he's like far away, and you see it pop to like 6 different spots before he finally slams him, or him bringing a bus through that try to hit him and stuff. It's like, whoo, this is intense.
I haven't seen that movie in ages.
It is. It's a really cool movie.
It is.
Again, shame it didn't get a sequel. I think probably because it just had Hayden Christensen in it.
I don't know.
But no, such a cool movie. I love that power. Being able to go anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Whenever you want.
That would be so handy. Because it's like, there's so many times where something's happening. Like, especially with me. My family is scattered all over the place. And so it'd be so much easier instead of, like, being that my sister is off on a different island, like, just on an island. It's like, it'd be so easy. Spend, like, $1,000 trying to get there. Spend nothing.
Yes.
Like,
well, you can pop over anytime you want.
Yeah.
What's up to? You not doing much? Poof, you're there.
That would be perfect.
See, what's going on? Hang out.
I didn't think of that. Oh my god.
That's just that. I mean, that's the beauty of teleportation. Oh, I want to visit Tokyo. All right, Sandy, let's go.
Yeah.
Don't pack a bag. Don't worry about anything. Pop over for a day. Let's explore Tokyo. Pop back. Live anywhere you want. I can live where I am and pop anywhere in the world, visit anywhere for anything. Where do you want to have dinner tonight? The world is our option.
See, if I were to go back and relist, I would probably take, because like I said, if there was a complete disconnection, then it would be shape-shifting, of course, teleportation, and then of course healing. But it's because I picked flying because, I mean, I like flight, but if you're a shapeshifter, you just turn into a fucking bird. Like,
there's ways.
Yeah.
Not quite the same as actually just getting up and
yeah,
going.
But I think it would be a feeling to a different feeling to have wings. Just
it would be. It definitely would be.
Like, just, it'd be beautiful, but...
No, teleportation is just amazing. And again, just use it. I'd be rich. I'd be fine. I'd go anywhere in the world, do anything I want, anytime I wanted to do it. I'd be set for life.
Do you think in the event that powers actually came to exist, you would find people going after people?
Well, it's according if this is more like X-Men, and even if it's the very, very beginning, you wouldn't find that for a while because the stuff would stay very secret, very hidden for a very long time.
Yeah.
And once it become widestream, of course, there would be things happening. Some of the instances we've seen X-Men and Humans, S.H.I.E.L.D. in different ways, this stuff would start occurring. That, of course, people would be terrified of people with powers.
Well, yeah.
Because they have a reason to be. Because they have powers and they can do things that the law really can't stop them.
Yeah.
Now, you have to get to a point where any person who uses a power against someone is still a crime, but you have a force to take care of that. So it's not being abused.
Yes.
But people, and especially like X-Men, the powers range from almost nothing to being so grand and massive that if that person's they're bad in some way, it can really terrorize horribly. Yeah. And you have to have something to fight that. But you would assume, if they were smart, instead of saying, people with powers are bad, and the government was intelligent, and basically, instead of the X-Men being a outside force, a vigilante trying to help people, they'd be like, no, we're having powered people on our team, our sides. The police would also be powered.
Yeah.
And they'd work with the police force. And it's like anyone who commits a crime, we have people to go after them. And they would just be integrated into society. And they would be thought of as terrifying.
Yeah, it would be like Civil War. Like, it would be like the government going, okay, we're going to control what you do. We're going to send you places when we think it's appropriate. But then, of course, you do have that conflict of, what if we know we should be there and you tell us to hold back? Like,
well, that's where the law comes into hand, because vigilantism is illegal.
Yeah.
You can't just go out and taking the law into your own hands and doing whatever you want.
Yeah.
Even if you are right, or in your mind you think you're right. And that's the whole... And that was the big thing. I mean, that's what Civil War was more talking about. That's the whole thing between being a vigilante in general.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
And then, of course, you have these situations. This is the one thing I didn't really understand about the movie. You did say you watched the movie Hancock? With Will Smith?
It's been a while. But yeah.
And it's like no one seemed that fazed that he had powers. But he seemed to be, until later on, he seemed to be the only one. Yeah. So it's like, he was a complete and total dick about it. But, he did things he thought was right. He saved people, but destroyed tons of stuff in the process.
Of course, that's another thing that happens a lot. And that's what The Incredibles touch on a lot.
Yeah.
The massive destruction that happens when these superhero people fight.
Yeah.
And things happen. Blocks get destroyed. Okay, you saved 2 people, but you destroyed half the city doing it.
Be like, well, that entire building had people in it. Are they all gone? Like,
there's those things too. And that's another thing. Like, I'm playing on Spider-Man right now, and there's multiple times that these big villains are tearing apart the city.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have Spider-Man who's trying to stop them, but
they swing once, and there goes an entire half a building. You might have not done it, but you led them to that building.
So, it's an interesting questions, and of course, my last power was the metal one. It's just cool because it's super powerful. I love the idea of just almost creating anything you want with metal or moving metal, and I also can use it to fly.
Be one of those people that just makes metal sculptures.
Yeah, metal sculptures.
There's your money making right there.
And like I said, Magneto did so many cool things.
Yeah.
Like he got the liquid metal, and he just would create discs, and he's just walking and just creating things in front of him and walking on them. And he had metal on him, so he could just levitate and fly off. And he used it in such cool ways. But it also comes down to he could stop bullets. He can control guns. He can... like in some of the older X-Men movies, he used the knife in a way like a boomerang and did stuff, and it's just so cool what he can do.
I don't know, just...
But of course, at that point, I'm still... everything I mentioned, I am still just a person.
Well, yeah.
There's nothing. I can still be shot. Things go bad. I can still be killed pretty easily.
Yeah.
And that's also where immortality falls into. It's like, give me a couple of these powers and immortality, and I cannot be stopped.
See, that's why... Here's my thing about... I know your view on immortality and everything, but me, as I said, immortality is lonely to me.
Okay. Oh, yes.
So, to me, I would rather have either invincibility or healing, because that way it's like you can self-heal, and like if you're Deadpool, you can really self-heal.
Oh, you can heal really well.
And so the thing is, you would still live a normal lifespan with the people that you're with people that you care about, but yet you wouldn't have to worry about, okay, well, I'm gonna go get shot today. Like, no, you don't have to worry about that stuff. But at the same time, you're not watching everyone around you grow old and just...
Yeah, I like immortality for the premise of I'm really, really super interested in the future. I can't wait to see where we get as a society in the future and technology that's going to arise from the future. So give me shape-shifting, immortality, and the metal one, or which one would I like more? And teleportation. Give me those three instead of the metal one, and I can go anywhere, do anything, be anyone, and live forever.
Okay.
Oh!
Well, here, let me throw this at you then. Being that you said you would want immortality because you're eager to see what the future holds, what it becomes. Okay, so you see that. You see it get great. You see all these new things, technology, everything. It keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. But what happens when you're still alive and we've reached the gunslinger?
Still going on.
When you've reached, the entire world has become a deserted nothing.
Well, I can also, as a person with special abilities and teleportation and immortality, try to stop some of this. Try to. I mean, I succeed. But that's long away from now.
Yeah, but you're immortal, meaning that you're stuck with that. Like, it's not... You can't just be like, well, the world has moved on. I'm done. Like, I've seen what I've seen. I saw all this beautiful change. It's like, no, you're surrounded by desert by yourself, just chilling. You've become Roland.
I'm not thinking hundreds of years from now, okay? I'm thinking
but
right
you
now.
Have to. With immortality.
Or thousands of years.
You have to think thousands of years.
We can't guarantee that it's going to be a dystopian world.
No, of course not.
I mean, we could flourish here, move on to other worlds, and expand. And that also would be amazing. The expansion, going to outer space, seeing what's in the stars, maybe meeting other races, doing other things. It's worth the risk for the possibility to see those things.
No, just become the Doctor.
Okay, with Doctor Who?
Yes.
Oh, I have not seen Doctor Who. I don't know you. Threw a curveball out there.
Like, I randomly just threw out that you should become a doctor. Just no, the Doctor. Just.
I don't know what the Doctor does. I have not seen Doctor Who. I don't know.
Let's see. He has a time traveling machine, and he can go anywhere, anytime. Well, there is some rules to that, but as far as he can pretty much do anything, but there are fixed points in time that cannot be messed with. But you can go anywhere, see anything, go to different times, and he does go to different planets and stuff too. Like, there's a whole bunch of aliens and stuff in Doctor Who, and different creatures and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well.
Literally, there's a piece of there's a human being who she believed in immortality so much that she is literally now just a face stretched across, like skin. She's just skin with a face and has to be squirted with water to not dehydrate. That's how she lives her life, just to live forever as a piece of skin stretched between a canvas.
You couldn't be a body? You can't walk? I mean, how is this the ultimate plan?
It has been ages, so I don't remember how it got like that, but it's just like someone has to tend to her by just sitting there. She's like, moisturize me.
Okay. Again, I've not seen the show. This is well beyond me and what's going on.
It's been a very long time since I've seen that. But
No. So, yeah. I mean, these things are fascinate me. And it's like, hey, find someone. I have shapeshifting. I can pretend to age as they age. And live out a life with someone if that's what I choose to do.
yeah.
They'll pass on. I'll be young again. Move on.
I don't know.
I mean, sad as that is, I like that idea. I like that.
I just feel that after a while, it would get tiring.
And it might. I don't know. I've not been immortal.
And that's the... Have you? But no, I just feel it would get tiring, and because it is so final, the finality of immortality, if it was a choice, I would... No. I couldn't do it.
I definitely would. I've explained. I love the idea. So it's very, very cool. And yes, at some point it would be cool to put some extra rules on here, being like, oh, when I want to, like a vampire, I can walk out in the sun and kill myself, blah, blah, blah.
See, that would be...
But like, hey, there's some way possible that I can die.
Just opt out.
But most people don't.
Yeah.
No one knows what it is except for me.
Yeah.
So I can die at some point later if I choose that's what I want.
It's like, I've noticed that you avoid salt all your life. Well, you know slugs.
So, yeah. I think it'd be cool. That's what I want. That's my 3 or 4-ish now.
4-ish. You got to 4-ish, and I just swapped mine.
The teleportation is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Jumping around the world, doing anything you want, and actually seeing the world would be amazing.
Especially if you can transport with, like, you can transport more than yourself. So it's like, well, I want to spend, more than a couple hours around. It's like, I'll just get in my Jeep and transport the whole thing, just drive through my little portal, and there you go.
With every power that I've ever even thought about, that's always the thing I think about more is, okay, I'd like this power, but I'd like to be able to do things with this power. Even like shapeshifting. I'd like to be able to shapeshift, of course, but I'd like to shapeshift things as well. More than just me.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe there's a set rule about how big it can be or whatever, or how small I can make an object from mass sizing and whatever.
Yeah.
But I like that idea. And teleportation. Of course I want to be able to teleport things. Get Jumper. They can teleport stuff.
Yes.
You start getting too big, you kill yourself trying to teleport something, but there's rules.
Yeah.
So you only can do so much. So.
What would you want to shapeshift?
Well, I mean, this also comes down to teleportation, my teleportation power. If I can shapeshift things, I can shapeshift things into money.
Oh, okay. Why did I not not click in my head? It's you.
I have infinite money if I can just grab a stack of paper. Oh, it's money now. Look at that.
Now, would it shift? Because it's shape shifting, you're not technically meant to stay in certain things for so long. So would it just shift back? Like once you...
There's defined rules how long it can stay.
Like, once you hand it to them and they put it into the register, like, is it by the end of the night? It's just paper sitting in there? Like...
Hey, whatever defined rules we want to put on things. But I like the idea of things being permanent. Like, I like the idea of, hey, if I want to shape shift into anything I want to, that's how I can be. I can be a new me. Forever. Or as long as possible. Whatever. But
for some reason, that topic right there reminds me of... it's the first time I had seen it or heard of it, it was on YouTube. And it was a mini-series called Alex. Or My Name is Alex. I can't remember which one. But it was, I believe, the guy from Criminal Minds. Have you watched Criminal? Okay, never mind. Either way. But he was the narrator because the point of it was each day he woke up as someone new. He couldn't pick. It wasn't picked. It was chosen at random.
Is this new?
Yeah, there is a newer movie out based on the same thing. I don't remember what it's called, but
yeah, that sounds like a commercial I saw for something
It
newish.
is, because as soon as I saw the trailer, I was like, wait, that's the same thing that used to be a miniseries on YouTube, but it's not the same, like, actors, anything like that. They're very much younger, and but pretty much he could be young, old, man, woman, it doesn't matter. Like, he just wakes up as these people and has to live his day out, and the next day wakes up as someone different. So creating relationships with people is really difficult because you can't just be like, hey, it's me, because you're not. He can also speak other languages and stuff that he wouldn't normally speak because he's a totally different person. I think in the newer movie, that person tries to actually live out their day, not... I think that concept is waking up as a different person in a different life, like literally trying to live their life for them, trying to get them to do like more things. Or
I can't remember. It's been a while. I saw a commercial once, but I thought that it was all relatively similar. Cause I thought he kept meeting the same person.
Well, that's the thing, is that in the miniseries on YouTube, there's like an antique store or something, and there's a woman who comes there to sell chairs, I think, that she makes. And he works at the antique store, so he sees her every day. But every day he's a new person, so he kind of just talks to her as a new person until he finally decides that he wants to try to explain. Like, he wants to go on a date with her or something. And the next day, he's someone different, so he doesn't know whether to try to explain that to her or anything else. But as I said, like, he wakes up in his room as a new person. And I want to say in the newer movie, the person keeps waking up in a different life. But
I don't know. It sounds very interesting. I remember seeing the commercial for the newer one, and this seems very interesting.
I'll have to send you, if I can find it, because I want to say they actually pulled it off YouTube, but if I can find any information on the original one that I watched, it was a really cool concept. So when you were talking about shape-shifting as becoming a new person, and if you want to just change lives or whatever like that, but yours would be, a choice. Like, you could choose this, and meanwhile, like... He can't. Like, he doesn't even know what he looks like because he's a new person every day. But I thought that was a really cool concept.
It's the only downfall of trying to be someone else. When you're choosing to be someone else, you're a new person. You start like, how could I forge documents at this point and get jobs? But that's where the infinite money comes in. That's where changing paper into money, or like, I can live off paper cash. So there is no paper cash, and I gotta figure out something else, but...
Oh my goodness. For some reason, like, that same thing, like, we were talking about the whole become, like, a new person every day, and then you were saying that you... what was it? It, like, just went straight through my brain, like, no.
I don't know either. I don't know. I wasn't there.
What? Reading minds. You should have known.
Reading minds. That was not one of mine.
No, it was not mine either.
I have no interest.
I have no. No,
I don't want to read your mind. I don't read anyone's mind.
I don't like the concept. Like, I can see, like, what women want, Mel Gibson, stuff like that. Like, I can see the hilarity and everything in it, but as an actual thing...
No, you don't want to know.
I don't want to know what people are thinking, and I sure as hell don't want people to know what I'm thinking, because my brain is a messed up place, and no one needs to be there.
Trust me. No one wants to know exactly what everyone thinks.
No.
I mean, it's just not... If you had the ability to turn it off and on and use it as you want, when you want, how you want, it could be useful in circumstances and ways and things.
Yeah.
But still, you don't want to know what everyone thinks.
And even when you do think you want to know, by the time they actually tell you what, you're just like, I know, I shouldn't have asked. Like, but no, it's just that, especially since, like, when he got his little mind power, whatever, he was hearing everybody all at once.
Yeah.
And so if that's how it happened, like, one day you wake up, you have this power, you get zapped by something, whatever, throw a hairdryer in the bathtub, you... just hearing everybody's thoughts at once. Like, he was even hearing dogs. It's just...
Yeah, as long as it was a female of some sort, he was hearing it.
And that would just be too much.
Here they're remaking that. Except they're doing it with a woman.
So it's what men want?
Yeah, I think so.
Strange.
Yeah, it's like the women one was more interesting because the women one is always the thing, like, oh, women are much more complex and deep thoughts, and men, it's like, what are men thinking about? Well, they're either hungry or they're horny, and that's it. There you go.
Yeah.
We're done.
It's like, the movie starts, the woman's walking through, and it's just like, no.
So it's like, I don't know how this one's going to be very interesting. I'm sure they'll find some way. They won't just fall back on the most basic cliche ever.
That is the first time hearing about that. I didn't know that they were planning on remaking it.
They're planning on it. We'll see if it actually happens, I guess. But that is the goal.
I don't know.
Neither do I.
No.
I do not know.
No. I don't want to read minds. I don't want people to read minds. I don't.
So there's some fun stuff in here. And there's a bunch of powers, of course, I would not mind having. But for the most part, I've got my handful of powers that if I could choose, those would be them.
What if you were given the choice to have powers, like they say, here is your powers. What if you were allowed to pick one power, but you automatically received another power with it that you didn't care for? Like, what would your...
What, pick... I mean...
Say, you're like, okay, I want teleportation. And slapped onto teleportation, they give you, like, the worst power imaginable because that's the trade-off. You have to have both of them. What would yours be as far as the worst power that you would have to get stuck with in order to gain your teleportation?
I don't know.
Like, just least favorite.
Well, the thing is, there's an array of hundreds of just stupid powers. Like, grow long fingernails. It's like, it does nothing. It's not important.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, okay, so for me, just off the wall, I
mean, if you said you had to receive, like, a power you did not want, something bad, essentially, or not even bad, just something that's like you hate.
If I... Just for an example, if I want shape-shifting, like that is my number one, they're like, here is your good power. Your attachment will arrive shortly, whatever. So it's like, you gain... I gain shape-shifting, but like, every 3 hours or whatever, I just turn into a pile of goo. I just turn into slime. And it's like, this is the most useless power ever.
Well, at that point, it's not a power. It's like a side effect. It's a side effect of having a power. So,
I don't know. The kid on Sky High was able to use it for something.
So, I don't know. That's like a would you have question right there. Would you game shapeshifting if every 3 hours you became goo? For 10 minutes or whatever.
It's like, all I picture is Ant-Man. When they're trying to get the sheep to... Was it a sheep? Yeah, it was a sheep. But on Ant-Man, when they're trying to get the same powers for him, like to shrink, like they're trying to work and figure out how he does it, and they use it on a sheep, and it just...
You mean when Yellow Jacket is trying to master the minimizing thing, and they use it on a sheep, and it just turns into gooey gel.
That's all I picture, is that pink just slod.
Does he try it?
Huh?
In the movie.
What do you mean?
Did he try it?
Yeah, I think so. He walked over and he's just like... I'm like...
Yeah, that's a little much for me.
No. Just no.
Yeah, no. So...
Yeah,
We're pretty solid. I think we've run out of stuff on that one. I think we've come to a close on that.
We've literally gone every other way as far as...
Alright, well this is where we're going to move on to another topic. We've got a designated link and we're going to try to stick to that. And we'll be grabbing another one. So, I gotta find the other one. It says,
what's in the box? I don't know.
We don't know.
Find
no
it.
one knows. It's empty. God. No. How do you decide what to watch or listen to? So what are your topics?
Yes, this was actually. So what I was thinking is that everyone kind of has their own way of either finding what they're in the mood for, or like the infinite scrolling. Like, if you're like me, you go on Netflix, you start scrolling, and you're like, I no longer even know why I'm on Netflix anymore because it's just not jumping out at me. And then some people have I've heard weird things, like some people have a limit, like they'll scroll a couple pages or they'll scroll through some music and if they can't find something, then they'll just do something else.
No. Me and the wife have many times, and I'm sure it's very relatable to a lot of people. What should we watch tonight? Or what do we want to watch? Like, let's try a movie.
Yeah.
We have TV series, but sometimes, like, I'm in the mood for a movie. I want to sit down and watch something complete. Be done with it. And then that's the infinite. Let's go through Netflix. I wouldn't mind watching that. She doesn't want to watch that. She wants to watch. I don't want to watch that.
Yeah.
And you just keep going and going. And once we get done with Netflix, we move over to Amazon Prime. And once on Amazon Prime, we'll look through Hulu. And it's like,
God.
Can we find something we can agree on that we both are in the mood to watch? And that's so difficult.
I don't know about you guys, but do you ever get to a point where it's just like, that's it, we're going to either just, rock, paper, scissors this, or we're going to just, you pick a movie tonight, I'll pick a movie tomorrow? Like, do you guys make deals with each other, or?
It doesn't work as well. Ken had tried to do that with the new season of Iron Fist. She didn't want to start it.
Okay.
We have to start it. She's got much more interested in it since we started watching it. It's so much better than the first season so far.
Okay.
But it was like, all right, we're going to watch one episode of Iron Fist and one episode of House.
Okay.
We've been rewatching House. And it's good. It's really good. It's just, we have new stuff. We've seen House. But so far we've watched 2 episodes of Iron Fist and we haven't watched anything else. So,
well, there you go.
Need to get through more of that. But yeah, otherwise it's like, just scroll.
Just scroll and see what jumps out.
She's watching one of her shows. It's like she sees something interesting.
Yeah.
It's like, I think we might like watching this. And there's a few things on Netflix right now that we need to watch.
I think I have a bunch of stuff on my list I haven't even touched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, unfortunately, when it comes to TV and watching television, period, unless it's something I was anticipating to drop so I could watch it.
Yeah.
Most of the time I'm picking something different to do. Television tends to be last on the list when it comes to doing things.
Yeah, I can understand that. For me, half the time I'll turn on the TV and then it turns out to just be background noise. And I'll just find something else to do. Or
I never do that. No. Never have. Never do it. I can't put something on the television and just ignore it and it be background noise, because if it's on the television, I'm watching it.
Well, for us, because our channels are so limited, we most of the time end up on it's a channel called Create, and all it is show after show, commercial free besides between the shows, of crafting, people going on trips, cooking. It's a lot of cooking, gardening shows, everything like that. So it's like you watch a couple different cooking shows in a row and you're like, oh, now I'm hungry. But another thing that happens is then I'll pick up my phone and start scrolling through Facebook or talking to somebody, and next thing you know, I'm looking up going, oh, it's not even the same show anymore. So it tends to just kind of go into the background because it's not as striking.
I can't. And if I'm not interested enough to be gandering at my phone the entire time, then, we might as well turn it off. I'm not even going to have it on.
Yeah.
I can't do the background noise thing.
No.
The only background noise I can do is play a game and listen to a podcast.
Yeah.
Again, it's not a lot. It's like I'm doing mundane stuff, nothing that's super important, collectathons and favorite things. All right. Or I was playing Guacamelee, and just a side-scrolling beating 'em up, and then anything that does get said, it's all in text. So I could easily listen to what I need to listen to and just play and beat people up and do stuff. And that's about the most background noise I get.
And so you guys have no... you said that you guys don't really make deals with each other. Well, you said you did have a deal for her and everything. Have you ever done, and I know this is going back to the day and age before watching everything on the internet became popular, because I know how you are. But
That was the way.
When it came to DVDs...
Good old DVDs.
Okay. Did you ever have those times where no one could decide, so you literally were mix the boxes up and then just pick a random one? Whether it's growing up or just in life in general.
I don't think we did that. Childhood, try to block it out. Don't need that.
I know.
That part of your life anymore.
But it's I occasionally remember times where it's you had 2 DVDs that you rented, or 2. I'll do that with Chad too, where it's 2 DVDs and then it's just pick one, because with Redbox it's solid on one side, and then or. growing up, we'd like take the DVD boxes and like hold them behind your back and be like, pick which hand, and then you'd like sit there and try to switch them if you really wanted to watch one. And yeah,
I don't remember doing a lot of that. I mean, when it came to watching things and we have a bunch of DVDs, it's like it would be no different than Netflix. All right, you watch this? No, okay. And it's me looking through, her looking through, us having different opinions of what we want to watch.
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
like, ah!
No, I know how that goes. Because it's should we watch this? No, I'm not really feeling it. Hey, we should watch it. No, I'm not really feeling it. And then it goes back and forth, and you're like, finally, just pick something.
Somebody has to cave in. I have to go down like what is my favorite thing out of what the other person has chosen that I want to watch?
Exactly.
That's why it's nice to have new things.
Yeah. And
Netflix has new things. Generally, between Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime for us, we can find something. Even if it comes down to renting something off of Amazon Prime.
I don't know. To me, it's just like, it takes half the time, it takes so much time just to find something to watch. Like, on my list, I have so much stuff. But then half the time I go onto Netflix, I find myself scrolling anyways. Because it's like, I know I should be watching these things, but there might be something I'm missing.
If we cannot absolutely... Half the time we'll just resort back to like whatever show we're watching. Like, oh, we're working our way through the 7 seasons of House. Well, let's just watch another episode of House. It'll be fine.
And see, I would say the same thing, except I watch Netflix on Yay screen. So it's like, for me, I have to want to watch something. Because I'm not going to sit there with my phone and just be like... But like the other day, I was really wanting to watch Supernatural. So I put on the seasons that I do have, which is like the very, very early seasons. And I was like, this is funny, but I'm sure there's a lot of episodes I've missed. So I went on Netflix, set my phone up, and like was just watching some random episodes that were really funny that I liked or that I'd never seen before. And I'm like, I really want to watch the whole series, like the whole season now. And I'm like, nah, I can't do it.
It doesn't bother me doing it on a small phone. I mean, yes, I prefer to be on the TV, but I've watched a lot of stuff on my phone.
And that's the thing, is that for me, if it was something I was really interested in, like, I binge watched the entire second season of Stranger Things on my phone. Like, I was like, nope, not waiting, have to see it now.
Yes.
I like started out with 1 or 2 episodes, and I was like, okay, I'll wait. No. Next thing I know, I'm watching like 3 episodes in a row, and you're like, yeah.
That's the beauty of Netflix. That's the beauty of...
It starts counting down, and you're like... It's like, gets to 5, and you're like, maybe I should turn it off. Like, I can, and then it's 4, and then you're like, well, it's already at that, and then it goes, oh, it's already playing the next episode. Gotta watch it now.
Gotta watch it, yeah. It's very important. Netflix and binging, best way to watch television. Yeah. I've never personally owned cable. I've never had cable. I've never had a Nintendo that even have like local stuff.
Yeah.
I've never personally owned cable. My parents had cable. And I remember scrolling through channels and stuff on that, but I've never owned cable. Ever since I moved out, there was internet.
Yeah.
And there's internet, there was Netflix, and then there's, again, we have Amazon Prime and Hulu. It's like, no. I hate commercials with a passion. I can't stand them. Like Hulu, we had to upgrade to it's like $2 extra a month, but you get no ads. And I was like, gotta go that route. Netflix doesn't have any ads. Amazon Prime is about finding movies or stuff. No, it doesn't really have ads. The most ads I ever see is if they pop up for a YouTube clip.
Yeah.
And most of the time, they've got a skip button, and I'm skipping. I can't stand ads, and I've been so spoiled at this point.
Yes.
That I can't.
It's like me watching America's Got Talent, because I'm sitting there, I'm watching it, I'm like, this is great, and then commercial, and I'm like, I don't want to wait, though. I want to see the next act. Like, especially if they're only doing 1 act per, like, between the commercial breaks. And I'm like, they're like, oh, coming up next is this person. And you're like, that's the one I really want to see. And then 5 commercials later, you're like, I don't want to see it anymore.
I couldn't go back to that. I couldn't. Because when we first got Hulu, it was a regular version. It had ads. And I refused to watch it. I refuse. I'm like, I cannot sit through these ads. I won't do it. Sandy watched it from some of her shows. I did it for like 5 episodes, which was the very last part of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I wanted to see them. I've never seen them. It was like the end of the series, so I did it and suffered through them and hated every time an ad came on. It was like a 22-minute episode. There was like 4 ads. I'm like, oh my god, drives me nuts. And Facebook now, they started adding ads and some of the stuff.
I noticed
and
that too.
Those. This is a small clip. I'm mildly interested in it. Mm-hmm. I kind of have interest. You throw an ad, I'm gone. Yeah. I've sat through 1 or 2 ads since they started introducing them. And it's only because I was legitimately super interested. Otherwise, I leave. YouTube is, not YouTube, but Facebook isn't the place for ads.
No.
This is a place where people are sharing small clips and little things for people to watch and laugh and have a good time and scroll through. I don't need an ad in the middle of that.
I think they have enough ads just trickled into our news feeds. They
There's
don't
that too.
need them on the videos.
Now, if Facebook wants to go more the route of YouTube and we're going to pay people for the ads but it also needs to be like, we're only going to put ads on stuff that are such and such length.
Yes.
Like, if I'm trying to watch a 30-second clip, you better not put an ad in the middle of that clip.
Oh my goodness.
I don't care if it's 5 seconds. I don't want to watch it.
So we've pretty much covered movies. How about music? Like, how do you find new music?
I don't. I don't find new music.
No?
Where we work, they play music. Occasionally, I'll pick something off of that and listen to it. Other than that, I don't know the last time I discovered new music. I listen to stuff I know I've liked before and new stuff that come out from those people, but I don't know the last time I actually got introduced to new music without someone like recommending it.
Yeah.
Which is like, occasionally I'll see something on Facebook. That was news brothers. I think her name was Amy Shark. A little Facebook group I'm in recommended her to listen to her. It was a good CD. It was good. It was solid. But that's the newest thing I've listened to. And
so pretty much yours is just by chance.
By chance.
By chance.
Complete chance. Someone will suggest something, or I'll happen to hear something play, because I don't have a radio in my truck.
Yeah.
And like I say, at work they play music, but it's generally just normal, gargle, popular, whatever. It's very rarely anything that's like really, really good or different, for that matter. And I listen to a lot of podcasts. So,
as far as, I guess not choosing between podcast and music, but when you are listening to music, like how do you decide where to start? Like, do you have a certain playlist, or it's just kind of like, I'm in the mood to hear this, so I'm going to play it, or...
Well, that's more what it is. I have Spotify.
Yeah.
So whatever I feel like listening, which is, again, the issue. I listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
Which hurts a lot with my music intake, because I love listening to podcasts. And the people I listen to have a wide array of so much content that I always have something to listen to.
Yeah.
So I have to be in the mood to listen to something. So it has to be an artist that I already like, dropped a new CD. So I'm going to check that out. And if I really like it, I'm going to try to listen to as much as I can. What was the question? I don't remember what the question was now. I got talking. I'm like, I know we're still talking about music, but what was the actual original question? The mood and picking music.
Oh my god.
I lost it. It disappeared.
The original question was pretty much, how do you decide what to listen to? And yours was mood-based.
It is mainly mood-based. If it's early in the mornings, if I am going to listen to music, it's generally something more mellow. Mm-hmm. I generally don't like to listen to anything loud. Like, rock music is pretty much out. Anything that's loud and obnoxious, that I may be in the mood at some other time. But early in the morning, someone to listen to. So I listen to a band called Passenger. Yeah, most of their stuff is very mellow.
Yeah.
And I like that. I can listen to that and relax and enjoy it.
I actually listen to them more towards night, like when I'm about ready to sleep.
Even that works. Anything's just it's very mellow and softer, and they have nice melodies, and it's like, this is very nice. I enjoy listening to that type of stuff. Otherwise, it's mood based. Maybe something comes on that's similar to something. Like, I wouldn't mind hearing that again. Yeah. I really like the old band Aqua.
Yes.
They're very limited music.
Yeah.
I think they're fun and upbeat and stuff, so they're fun to play around with sometimes.
Their songs are quite interesting.
Yes. They got the fun stuff.
Yeah.
I love Linkin Park.
Yes.
So if I'm in the mood to actually listen to a little bit louder or stuff with more meaning, or if I'm angry, then that type of stuff is great.
Yes. Rock is very good for that. Punk rock is very good for that. Pretty much just any kind of rock is really good.
Either that can scream and have hard beats and just you're angry. That's what you want to listen to.
Yes, definitely. Mine's pretty much the same. It's mood based. As I said, I like to listen to more melody and stuff towards the end of the night. I can't listen to it in the mornings though, because even though yes, it should be calming, it should be relaxing to me. To me, it will start to make me just doze off a bit, and so when you're trying to wake up, it's not quite where you want to be at. But for me, as far as finding new things, it's same. You hear something if I'm listening to the radio and I'm like, I really like this song. I'll go on YouTube or something, type in their name, find an album, listen to it.
That's the issue with
not having a radio.
The issue with that, in my opinion, radio music is dying. It feels like. I mean, yes, everyone does. Most everyone has one in their car.
Yeah.
And for the most part, you drive somewhere, you're probably going to turn on the radio and listen to something.
Yes.
And I still do. When I get in my wife's car and we're driving around, we'll put music on.
Yeah.
I don't like the commercial still.
Of course.
So I may hear new stuff there.
Yeah.
It happens. I mean, the radio is the best place. Other people, especially Spotify, Pandora, they'll have radio stations.
Yeah.
They're like, I like this. And they'll just play random stuff. So there are ways, I guess, for people to still get that. I just don't do it because I listen to podcasts more often. Most of the time I wake up, I'll put my earbuds in, and I will put podcast on. Finish getting ready, eat my little breakfast, go to work.
I pretty much in the mornings, mine is the radio on the way to work. Sometimes I'll switch off between whatever hip-hop station, but most of the one I'm on is CPR, so rock. I'll listen to rock. But if I'm just having one of those mornings where having someone scream at me, I'm just I'm going to hear this at work anyways. Just let's move on to something different. Just more I really like dance music. I like stuff that gets you up wanting to dance. Hop around. And
Have to be in the mood.
Yeah.
Have to be in the mood.
The same thing.
Morning or anything remotely close to... I don't want to listen loud. Anything loud. It's just yeah. It does not work for me.
But I do like radio. I hate work radio because it plays the same 40 songs over and over again. But as far as finding new stuff, I do really like radio stations because for me, that's how I found the Struts. I don't know if I've recommended them to you.
I don't think so.
No.
They don't sound familiar at all.
Oh, okay. But that's how I found them, is because I was listening to CPR, a song came on, I'm like, wow, I really like this song. And then, of course, went to YouTube, listened to an album and everything. They have a very, it's an English band, I don't remember exactly where but they have a very, retro feel to them as far as their singing and even in their videos and stuff, how they're dressed, everything. It's just more of a kind of an old school punk rock band. And their music has a nice it still has that rock feel, but they're not screaming or yelling or anything. It's just kind of upbeat. It has a really nice feel to it. I'm trying to think of any band that remotely comes into my head, and it's not. Actually, I wrote it down.
I'll have to try listening to them. Never against trying new music. It's just I don't get the opportunity. I listen to so much podcasting. I enjoy that. I like hearing people talk about interesting things, and
I'm the same way. I haven't found any newer podcasts lately, but
I've got enough podcasts as it is. I don't need any more newer podcasts. I can't keep up. I'm so behind right now on my podcast.
I don't even know where I am. As far as the podcasts go, I only listened to really one, and I'm 50. No, I would say maybe 20 episodes behind, if not more.
I'm not that far.
Yeah.
But since my time off here, since most of my podcast listening would happen during work, and now that I've been off of work, I'm not listening to podcasts.
Which reminds me, did you ever watch Oculus?
No.
What is wrong with you?
It would take away from Spider-Man. I can't take away from Spider-Man.
You and Mike, I swear.
Hey, it is the coolness right now.
Yeah, none of these sound familiar. Well, I was like, oh, it's like this band, but all these are just random. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Passenger I found from work.
Yeah.
It's just they were playing the only song I've ever heard them have on the radio. And I like this song. I wonder what else to have. And I go and I really like these guys. And for the last 4 or 5 years, they put out a CD every single year. And a lot of it sounds very similar, but it's all mellow and it has the same beat. And I'm like, I really like this. So I continue to listen to them over and over and over. I mean, they just put a CD out a couple weeks ago.
I said, like, I'm pretty sure I'm following them on YouTube, and so YouTube they separate their albums into playlists, obviously. And so what I'll do is I'll go into the playlist, hit play, and then it's pretty much like listening to the album except for random ads. But luckily, with the albums, I'm finding a lot of the ads are right in the beginning and not throughout. It's just one at the beginning and then...
Yeah.
Because I cannot stand when I'm listening to a dance one, or even if it's not dance, even if it's just kind of like low techno, pretty much. And then right in the middle of it, it's like...
Would you like to buy insurance from Allstate?
Facebook has changed! Like, yeah, no.
No. Passenger. Amy Shark we listened to because it was a recommendation, so I listened to that. I thought she was pretty good. Mike Shinoda put out a new CD a couple months ago. I've listened to that a lot. I really enjoy that. The Greatest Showman.
Oh my god.
That CD, whatever,
yes, the
is
soundtrack. Oof.
The soundtrack is so good.
Yes.
So incredibly good. I haven't listened to a soundtrack like that since, in my opinion, Sweeney Todd. I thought the Sweeney Todd soundtrack was fantastic.
I haven't seen Sweeney Todd in forever.
Neither have I. I have listened to the soundtrack quite a few times, which to me plays out the entire movie pretty well.
Yeah.
So it's like when they play it, I can hear, I can visualize the movie because of the soundtrack.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it.
I don't know. It's like for me, as far as like what I've been listening to lately is pretty much like Lindsay Sterling. I really like.
She's good.
Yes,
she is good. I liked her stuff. I think more before some of her new stuff. For her and other violinists, I like to hear the violin.
Yes.
That's why I'm listening to you.
Yes.
Because I like your violin playing. And they've gotten more to having like, oh, there's words and songs and other music. And I'm like, I feel like you're just fading into the background, and that's not why I listen to you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you're trying to make other different types of music, but I listen to you because I enjoy your violin playing.
Well, that's the thing, is that is what got you there. That is your thing. So why would you kind of just skitter that off when...
Yeah. Like, when I listen to Lindsay Charlotte, I don't want to hear a song. I'm listening to your violin. That's why I'm listening to you. I don't want... For other things, like, yes, I love music, but words and voice is great. But when I'm listening to Lindsay Sterling... That's not what I want. That's not why I came to you at all. That's not why I'm listening to you. I want to hear your violin and how you play that.
Yes.
That's what I want. And maybe some light other music, but I don't want heavy other music either. I want the violin to be the most present thing in my ears at the moment because that's why I'm listening to you.
Yes.
There's another violinist that I really like called Taylor Davis.
Okay.
She's really good as well.
I'll have to look her up because that name does not sound familiar.
Yeah, I don't know how I came across her. I have no idea. I think I was just listening to violin stuff, and that's another name that came up. And she's really good.
No, pretty much mine has been Lindsay Sterling, The Struts, Passenger, of course. I have a couple of different channels that do them. It's just called Chill Step, where it's just kind of... it's the length of techno music because it's all one song, but it has different changes in it, and it's more melody based. It's not like, we're gonna get you going, la da 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 da. And some of them is like indie folk songs and stuff put into them too. It's really calming. Other than that, as far as Bad Flower, I've only heard a couple songs that I liked from them, but I heard them on CPR as well. And think that's about it as far as... Otherwise, the only thing else I've been binge watching on YouTube lately is Samuel J. Conroe went on a comedy tour with Drew Lynch, which was hilarious. Like it was it was like 2014, I think.
Yeah.
But still, just a lot of the clips they have on YouTube are the two of them doing the question and answer. The Q&A after their shows, and some of the questions people were asking were just, oh my goodness, it was funny. And so just the fact that, of course, Drew Lynch has his stutter and Sam has his Tourette's, just the two of them trying to answer people's questions and people asking them certain things is just, oh my god.
No, he's a funny man. He's a funny man. I've been enjoying him on AGT. And they just had the last semifinal thing, which I think was, for the most part, a bomb. I think a lot of people did badly in this new one. Even I always forget her name, but Trailer Park Girl, the comedian.
Oh yeah.
I was not impressed with her new one at all. I thought it got funny in the second half, but the first half I didn't like at all. I'm like, I'm disappointed.
What did you think of? Oh, I forgot her name. The girl who sings like old school songs, like she's saying "Born to Be Wild."
That does not sound familiar.
She's
we do have two people left.
Okay.
I haven't watched the entire episode. I have two people left.
Okay. Well,
so
this one...
She may be one of them. I don't know.
She's a younger girl. When she talks, she actually has an accent, but when she sings...
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I haven't seen her yet.
Oh, okay.
I have not seen her yet. No. I've loved everything else she's done, but I've not seen this last week.
I think she sings Born to Be Wild. I'm pretty sure.
She does? I don't know.
I don't remember.
But for the most part, everyone in this last semifinal round has not performed very well. My favorite person they've done so far was Aaron Crow. Yeah, but I just really like him in general. I like his stuff. Did you see his newest one?
I don't think so. Like I think I missed, because I had to go back and watch them on YouTube because we were filming Tuesday. So yeah, I've been watching them on YouTube, and I watched hers. I watched. I don't remember the other ones I watched, but
he put Howie in a box.
I read about that though.
Yes. So it's entertaining. I like what he does. He mixes magic with stunts and danger, and he's fun.
So I take it you haven't watched any of the results or anything yet?
No.
Okay.
No, because I would have watched. It would have came on yesterday.
Yeah. And
then posted today on Hulu, so we'd watch it today.
Yeah.
So maybe me and Santa will watch it tonight after we finish a couple. So I have no idea who makes it through finally to the finals. Which
I won't say anything then, because I may or may not have done a whole spoiler thing and just looked on the wiki page. Because I had to know.
Oh, we'll find out. It'll be all right.
Wow, we've gone pretty much everywhere from superheroes to America's Got Talent.
We've jumped around a little bit, which is the whole point of the show, which... I think we've kind of, I think we'll call it a day on this one. We've gone long enough. If you liked the length, let us know. If you didn't like the length, let us know. But I think even if you didn't, we may still stick with this route.
You're stuck with it, I'm sorry.
If you'd like us to cover more topics, let us know. Because we only got through 2 of our topics in here. If you liked it at all, please send a topic suggestion yourself. You can do it in the YouTube comments. You can do it on Twitter. You can do it on our Facebook. So, multiple ways you can go about it. We'll try to read those and add them.
Yeah. Also, video responses are always welcomed. We think that would be quite hilarious to see.
Yeah, I don't really see video responses. I've never seen people do that. Yeah. So this thing, you keep bringing it up. I'm like, go about it. That's what you want to do.
Video responses are a thing, guys.
Are they?
Do it. Yes, they are. They are a thing.
Sure.
You've never just been like, hey, I'm watching this. Let's respond to it via video.
No.
No,
I've not.
Never.
No,
me neither.
There's a on YouTube. There's what's his name? John. He reviews movies. John something. Anyway, he's on. There's something that's strictly meant for that type of stuff.
Okay.
Trying to video response and do things, and he added them into a show and tried to do something with them. I can't remember. I watched 1 or 2 of them.
Well, either way, we'd love to try. So
why not? Yeah. We'll figure things out. You're all right.
check out our Instagram for pictures of behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes of today.
Also, another thing about the show is, of course, getting to know you guys. And if you guys have any questions for us as far as why we started this, why we're talking, who this thing is, I don't know. Like, just let us know.
Yeah. Any and all things go down in the comments down below. Again, Twitter, Facebook, we're all over the place. Even Instagram, we're on there. I think you can leave comments on Instagram posts. So
if you want us to just quit the show and have Aspen just sit here and talk into the microphone the entire show, the husky that was here earlier.
Yeah, we'll see if that works out. Be a very limited conversation there, but if you want to reach us, you can of course do that at BJJ Gamer, do that at KZ Pup, Beyond Our Focus, and it's also Beyond Our Focus on Instagram, and then Beyond Our Focus also in Facebook.
Yeah.
So pretty much everywhere. We got that actually worked out.
We are everywhere.
Wherever we can be. If you want to listen to the show in podcast form, because this would be consumed quite well, the podcast, and not maybe a YouTube video, then you can do that. Also, we're on Google Podcast, we're on Spotify, we're on Stitcher, we're on Overcast, we're on a bunch of things. So you can do that there. I think that is it.
That is about it. We do have a new schedule lineup because these are 2 new shows. So every Monday you can catch Let's Palaver. Let's Palaver, where we will be going over the Dark Tower series. That'll be Monday, so you still have time to read the first chapter if you'd like to join us in that.
Yes, or catch up if this is much later on.
Yes. Tuesdays we have Breaking Prisms.
Yeah, Breaking Prisms, which is us going over Twilight Zone and Black Mirror. We're up to the 2nd episode of both.
Wednesday is our off day.
Yes.
Thursday, of course, is Would You If. We will be going over some pretty interesting questions. It seems to be an interrogation nowadays.
It might be.
And then, of course, every Friday you can catch us here and What's in the Box.
Exactly. But that's it. So, hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, leave a comment. But, until next time, be well.